I mean, I haven't worked for like 44 days plus, so I'm really just trying to think about what we're gonna do
Yeah,
next in the barber industry when we open back up. What kind of
yeah.
advice would you give a stylist or an agent? What kind of advice would you give someone right now in the industry that probably like can't apply for a PPP loan or get unemployment, things of that nature? And the values, I think, is going to start with cleanliness and hygiene. Uh, when it comes
Hmm.
down to when it boils down to it, right? Because the city is really going to start pinning down on these establishments, and that's my fear, right? Because I seen it happen in the restaurant industry when I was young. You know, my father opened the restaurant.
Yeah,
I was 20 years old, and we were running this restaurant, and they were hitting us with all these different fines that we weren't expecting, right? Because then they came with the letter scores and all these things that really, a lot of these businesses, the mom and pop shops, they weren't expecting it. So, since especially the barber industry is, there's not too many conglomerates. The industry is led by mom and pop shops, and I fear for those businesses.
yeah. I fear for them too, but at this point, you really got to kind of do what's right,
Yeah,
and meaning what's doing right is because the way the system operates, you can make they allow you to make as much money as possible, but there's a kickback, and that kickback is the IRS. They want
right,
something. They want to see what you're reporting. They want to see what's coming in, what's coming out. If
right.
you're not reporting anything, they're not going to give you anything.
You definitely got to report some taxes. I always tell my brothers this, man. Like, you get a lot of times, and I know people don't like borrowing money from the bank, but I tell people this all the time. Why don't you report money and leverage that with the banks? Now you could take out a loan. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to, to,
Yeah.
to pull out and get a loan when you say that you made $100,000 last year and get taxed, because that's just part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What else you
Yes.
want to add to that, bro?
Just moving forward and why it's so important. My my accountant partner, his client, she's a stylist in Chicago.
Okay.
She went through the SBA loan. She did everything. She did all the proper had all she had all the proper paperwork, and they gave her $70,000. 18 of that is unforget. 18 of that is a grant, meaning she don't got to pay that back. The other
Because it's
50,
unforgivable,
50
right?
plus, she's hello.
What's the interest on that?
What the interest is 3.5 on the 50. The 18 she don't got to
Which
pay
is like
back.
a magical. That's a
And
magical loan, right? That's the loan of your life. Your grand
and
your,
and and
your
check this out.
family member won't
Check
lend
this.
you money like that.
No, check this out. It gets better. Guess how many years she got to pay that back?
Say it.
30 years.
30 years to pay the loan back.
So that's gonna
Wow.
come out about maybe if you want to break it down into barber stylist numbers,
Hmm.
that's probably about 250 a month. That's booth rent, 1 week booth rent in most shops to pay that
Right.
loan back.
And I don't know. I don't know about booth rent either, man. I think booth rent is probably gonna be something of the past. I
Yeah,
see booth rent. I see booth rent, and I see it dissolving and disintegrating because these business owners right now, what they just felt, there's not gonna be no booth rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody to think they're a star and they own that little corner of the barbershop is quiet for that. It's over for all of those things, because why? Now it's gonna be an establishment kind of movement, which actually I'm okay with.
yeah,
I'm happy about that, because I mean, you know me, so you know I like nice things. So I'm
yeah.
always down. I'm always down with the progression of things.
And
Anybody that has any questions for Dante or myself, please drop them in the question box. It's right down there. You want to add anything else?
yeah, with moving forward, what's gonna happen is a lot of people that wasn't reporting income or that was booth rent shops,
Yeah,
don't those shops are gonna slowly fade out because just like you said, that a lot of business owners felt this. And for one, they're not trying to feel it again because who knows if this is gonna happen again. If this happened again, then and you was prepared for it, like this time nobody was prepared for it. But now
yeah,
moving forward, you know what you got to do. You know you got to get your books in orders. You know that you gotta, you know you have to start reporting.
I mean,
And
how? I
in the
mean, Dante,
simplest thing.
how easy? Excuse me, brother. How easy is bookkeeping
Mhm.
today? Like for let's say like a single proprietor business, like a barber, right? That has their corporation going. How simple is bookkeeping today for somebody? Like, what are some apps that you
Man,
recommend?
man, I was going. That's my ultimate strategy. That's the company. If y'all follow it, even though he's in Chicago or they in Chicago, man, this brother right here, he's the one that helped the young lady get that loan.
Okay, dope, dope.
He like so he helped her get her stuff in order. Like you said, you got QuickBooks, but
Right?
also I have another partner. She has a workbook, a Schedule C workbook out, and the Schedule C workbook makes it so easy to keep up with everything from from your spending to your from your spending on your supplies, your rent.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything that you spend money on, it helps you keep a balance.
But
And,
but I
and,
just
and,
want I want you to tell the people that it's easy because I feel like there's this idea about bookkeeping and accounting that it seems like it's rocket science when really you're just keeping your
it's
receipts in
not.
order. You're you're
Yeah,
you're, you're keeping your expenses and you're putting them in a box, right?
yeah. It's real simple. Like, you got two options with moving forward. Well, actually, three options. You could either stay the same. You could either stay the same, or you could, or the money that you spend, you could Are you accepting walk-ins? Oh, that's for you. You could either stay the same. You could report pretty much, not only report, but keep by you keeping your receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Your receipts is gonna help you not pay taxes or not as pay as much taxes. Because in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
everything is a tax deduction in this industry, from supplies to possible booth rent to traveling to work or to going to the shows, uniform, meals, taking any type of education classes, getting any type of accountant or consultants that's going to help your business. Anything that's going to help
Mm-hmm.
your business or protect your business is a
Yeah.
tax deduction.
Let me
So,
just
you
let me
going
just
to
answer this
so you
question
going
real
to
quick.
okay.
Are you still accepting walk-ins? Capital, I think that's a great question. I think for walk-ins, there's gonna be a queue. So even if you are a walk-in, I think that the new approach for barbershops and salons is always going to be a queue type of thing. So you might walk in, you might see some type of person at the front desk who's going to book you for an appointment for that day, but you're not going to walk in and just sit right down. I think it's going to be quiet for that. Those things, it's going to take time between clients. We're thinking about 5 to 10 minutes. You got to change your gloves. You got to clean everything. You got to swap everything out of the UV sanitizers. I imagine now every barber now, if they didn't know in the last 10 years what a UV sanitizer was, they're going to learn today. That's my answer for that, Cat. Thank you for your question, brother.
If you ask me, I
I
think
got a question. I got a
walk-ins
question for you right
might
here.
be old
You
for
want to
walk.
you want to grab this question?
Sure. What's the question? I don't see it.
Do you think salons and storefronts would be rare to non-existent in the future?
Say it again. You're
Do
just
you,
breaking up.
you think that storefronts are going to be rare in the future?
Hmm. No, I'm gonna say no because for a lot of people, for the booth rent shops, yes,
Yeah.
but for the ones that's operating like a Fortune 500 company that's doing
Yeah.
commission, that's doing everything by the books, no,
Yeah.
not at all. If anything, I think business
Yo,
is gonna
Dante, as
be
an accountant,
better than ever.
as a finance
Yes,
person, who's winning? Who's winning at the end? The person who's doing their books or the person who's just getting all cash? Who's winning at the like? Who's really like the person who's coming up, right? Because I
on the
feel
books,
like,
the person on
yeah.
the books
Can
is
you
winning.
break that down?
Reason why they winning because for times like this, they have different source of income that they could tap into. Whether they was using whether they had a retirement fund set up or they might have credit cards. If you had cash is good, but but if you're not making no cash, how does that help you at this present moment? Anybody, I'm like people that's operating like a Fortune 500 company like yourself, man. All you really got to
Thank
do
you, my
is
brother. I appreciate that.
no problem because your shop. The reason why I say you because a lot of people don't know that you had a shop in the city. To have a shop in
Yes.
the city, one is a headache, and two, you got to be doing something right. Not anybody could just say I'm gonna open up a shop in Alphabet City. I think it's gonna things gonna run smooth. To have a shop in Alphabet City,
You gotta have
everything.
cojones.
Yeah, and to be honest, you really need to have some type of structure to have a shop in the city. Now I don't know too many business owners that could survive having a shop in the city. Not too many. It's only certain individuals, and and it's not because um, it is hard, but like you said, you gotta have big kahunas. If you don't have big kahunas to have a shop in the city, then you know those sayings: scared money don't make no money. And
Facts.
so, but going back, you just gotta pretty much you gotta run your establishment like a Fortune 500 company because
All right, brother.
them
Yo,
people
I
that's
want you. I want you to. What was that?
oh no, you were saying
What was
something.
that?
Go ahead.
Nah, you could go ahead and finish.
Oh, okay. Now, because for you to operate your shop like a Fortune 500 companies, that give you leverage. Like right now, being that it's not being that people that have cash, what leverage do they have right now? None. But people that have their books in
Right.
order, they got SBA
Yeah.
loan.
See,
Even with
it's
moving
okay to
forward,
borrow money sometimes, right?
man, everybody. If you look at it, a lot of
Listen, all
top
the big
companies,
guys do it, right?
yeah, a lot
All
of
the
big
big guys
companies
do it.
and even going further, um, this industry got to learn how to leverage their book of business. If
Right.
you don't know what your book of business, that's your clientele. If you don't know how much your clientele is bring how much revenue they bringing into you a year, it's a problem. Because by that, without being my leverage, other industries do it from the financial side. A lot of people leverage their book of business. So let's say you about to retire and your book of business is worth $100,000, per year. You could sell that at you could sell it higher than that. If your business is if your book of business bringing in 100,000, I mean long term you could sell it for $500,000. Just thinking short term. You could let people know that my book of business brings 100 grand, and I'm gonna just sell it to you for 5 years. 5 years, that's $500,000.
Right.
That's the leverage part. It's business. It's like playing Monopoly, but in the barber industry.
Right.
To go.
I'm not gonna front, man. I really, as a youth, like when I was in my early 20s, I was really into nightlife, and I kind of like ran away from doing hair. I kind of like strayed away from it, and I didn't realize how I could scale cutting hair because I can't cut everybody's hair. So where they could buy that amazing book that I purchased off of you.
Yes. You could purchase this amazing book. Oh man, right here, dsfinancialgroup.org. I'm gonna type it up. For any type of any type of business questions, you can reach out to me. I'm here for the industry. Been here for going on 5 years. In the words of Diddy, can't stop, won't stop, and I'm gonna be here until I'm gonna be here forever. Even when I'm long gone.
Yo, Dante, you will. Because
I'm
you're leaving artifacts behind, brother, and I appreciate that. And thank you so much, man. Thanks for everything that you do. You're the meaning of value, bro. Every time I see you walking around with your book, there's the value that you carry with you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
Bless.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.